It was so close yet so far for Mumbai Indians against Royal Challengers Bengaluru. They lose their second straight game. Hardik Pandya tried his best, but eventually Mumbai Indians fell short at Wankhede. This is Anish Patil. I am Abhishek Saini. Welcome to another episode of Matchpoint Paradox, where we try to decipher what went wrong for Mumbai Indians in today's IPL match. Hardik Pandya was batting on 32 of 7 deliveries at one point in time. He was heading towards scoring a fastest 50 when he picked 2 sixes of his brother Krunal Pandya, but then it just sort of unraveled pretty fast for Mumbai Indians. From there on, they fell short by 12 runs. They were chasing 222, no easy task at hand. If they were to get there, it would have been the highest run chase actually at the Wankhede Stadium. The current record is 213 runs. So it was obviously challenging, but after getting off to a sluggish start, Hardik Pandya's cameo towards the end really put them in contention to sort of get there, but RCB sort of reigned the run chase just in time to pick off another win. Anish, I'll come to you. Where do you think the match was decided today?
Yeah, like you mentioned, when Hardik walked in, it was looking more like an improbable chase. It wasn't like Mumbai Indians were in control. I think that innings changed the facet of the game so that we could have Mumbai eventually pull it off. It would have been a surprising win, to be honest, because the platform laid in where the top order wasn't the best while looking at chasing something like 222. I think Rohit fell early, but he had scored a couple of quick boundaries, but he fell early once again. Hasn't been in the best of forms for the last 3-4 years in the IPL, to be honest. Rickleton as well. Mumbai's batting mainstay this season has been Surya, 40 and 60, and he's been there up and about the orange cap standings. But today's knock, even though it was 20 odd,
28 of 24,
but not clearly his most fluent innings at all.
Especially after he was given a reprieve.
Correct.
That mix-up between Jitesh Sharma and Yash Dayal.
Actually, the next ball, right after the mix-up, the next ball he faced, he tried to go for a lofted shot over the offside and skied it up for mid-off to complete a good catch. So I think the Surya Kumar innings there kind of made Mumbai lose that impetus through the middle. But props to Tilak Varma, fighting back from the previous game where he was subbed out after looking slightly
retired out.
Yes, retired out. So props to him to come back and play in innings like that. Even though Hardik was the protagonist with that 6 hitting ability, but Tilak really made sure that he provides the perfect support. I think Tilak, the way he slog swept fast bowlers from outside off stump to the mid-wicket boundary and long on boundary, that 2 really effective shots he used through the innings today. Yeah, but despite Hardik's best efforts today, it was the other Pandya that came up on top. Excellent last over. It was a gamble, keeping a spinner till the death.
He was on a hat-trick also.
Yeah, in that over. I think 28 from 12 actually was doable, but a couple of wickets falling in that over as well. And then RCB managing to rein in and make it a 12-run victory. A really sweet victory for them as they climb to the top.
I'll ask you something. I mean, they obviously had Namandir come in at number lower down the order in the chase. But Hardik Pandya, after the match, mentioned that he's more suited to that middle order role, slightly higher up the order.
Correct.
Do you think they're lacking a clear finisher towards the end? Someone like, say, Tim David?
MI have had a history of having great finishers.
Exactly.
Pollard played that role for so many years and successfully at that, winning them 5 IPL titles. Tim David played that role. Again, people say that Tim David isn't the most, consistent batter, but for a batter who comes in at 7 and is trying to get you as many runs as possible, I don't think consistency is the right metric to measure them. It's about what they can do with bat in hand. I think that is what they're missing this season. Tim David, of course, making the move from MI to RCB ahead of this season. Will Jacks coming in at 3, again, hasn't really scored many runs this IPL, but the issue of playing Will Jacks at 3 is Tilak Varma drops to 4, Surya drops to 5. Tilak, Surya actually both compete to play number 3 for India. So I think you're not optimally utilizing your batting resources by playing Will Jacks at 3. Talking about the first innings in which RCB posted 200, which is the highest total by a visiting team at the Wankhede, and it was a special one for Virat Kohli, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was exactly opposite of what MI did. They got the momentum early on, despite losing Phil Salt early on in the innings. Virat Kohli set it up initially, and then Rajat Patidar and Jitesh Sharma just carried on from there. Interestingly, this was the first time Virat Kohli has scored 50 runs inside 30 deliveries while batting first. So that just goes to show the shift he's trying to make up the order for RCB. And even during the middle, nowhere do you feel that he's trying to sort of slow down after the power play, or sort of trying to rotate strike, which he likes to do in the longer formats, say the ODIs and tests. But he wanted to continue attacking. He wanted to take on Hardik Pandya, who was inarguably their best bowler, has been in the past few matches as well. And despite him going for those off cutters and slower hit deliveries, Kohli opted to take him on, got out, and then eventually allowed the rest of the batting order to take over. Special mention to Rajat Patidar, scored at 200 strike rate, and it's often said that he likes playing against the spin, that playing spin is his strength. But today he faced, I think, 23 deliveries against pace and just 9 deliveries against spin. Mumbai bowled just 1 over from Vignesh Puthur, but that sort of did not really peg back Patidar in any sort of way. A little bit on Jitesh Sharma as well. He also played a few, I'd say, audacious shots.
Yes.
What did you make of it?
Great, 42 of 19 from contribution from Jitesh. I think he's somebody who's always had that in his kitty, this ability to score quick and score audacious shots. And his ramps behind the wicketkeeper from wide deliveries outside off stump, a couple of them in this innings today. Really good to watch, and provided RCB that extra 15-20 runs that they needed towards the death to make it a really daunting total. Something around 200 would still have been considered doable, but then 220 eventually proved to be the difference between the two sides at the end.
And obviously, we also have to talk about Jasprit Bumrah. What did you make of that spell?
I think coming after 93 days, like they mentioned, his jersey number and the number of days he's been left out. I mean, he's been missed out due to injury. But didn't look the best version of Jasprit Bumrah we've seen so far, obviously, considering how long it has been since he's played cricket at the highest level. But his Yorker length deliveries were just off the margin, coming in as low full tosses, which was still more difficult for the batters to time. And also, now there's an aura around Bumrah that makes batters want to play him off. I think in his first 2 overs, they were just trying to rotate.
Actually, Virat Kohli had that 6 over mid-wicket, and he conceded like 10 runs in that over, but then to just end up with 19 runs of the next 3 overs was, I think, I think that he conceded some 10 runs in the last over, 9 or 10 runs, and that actually RCB could have ended up with a higher total, but if not for Bumrah, he really did the job.
Correct. So from Mumbai now, a 4th loss in 5 matches in the IPL, towards the bottom, level on points with, of course, CSK and SRH. So where do Mumbai go from here?
Oh, I mean, it's 4 losses. See, ideally, CSK has 1 game in hand, so they might just flip them in the table. But at this point in time, I think they're worse off than SRH also, because Sunrisers have a combination they know works for them, and they're just waiting for those 2 or 3 central pieces in that combination to work, and then they know they'll be in similar form as they were last season. But for MI, the problem is they're just, you almost feel as if they're experimenting all the time. Tilak, as you said, coming down at number 5, and then Will Jacks at number 3. Their bowling combinations, you don't really know. Now, obviously, Bumrah coming in strengthens it, but today they had Vignesh Puthur, but then they bowled just 1 over out of him. Santner has been expensive, and I think MI in general is a team that just sort of carries a little more baggage with what happened last year. So the chances of things spinning out of control are much higher for MI than with SRH. And I think they played 5 games. If they're able to turn it around within, I think, the next 2 games, I think they can make a season out of this. Otherwise, I think if another a couple of losses, and I think it's curtains to their season. That was it from today's match. Tomorrow we have a double header on Tuesday. LSG faces KKR at the Eden Gardens in the afternoon game. This was originally supposed to take place on April 6, was shifted due to security reasons. And the evening game will see Punjab Kings host Chennai Super Kings. For all the latest updates from the Indian Premier League, you can follow Sportstar.